listening to Real Not Perfect, author of The Overwoods. Welcome to the Rebellion Podcast.
I did not think there was going to be another episode. Okay, oh my gosh. Clara, introduce yourself in any way you want to introduce yourself. It doesn't matter what you say. It could be something completely inappropriate as long as it's not politically incorrect.
Yeah, I'm Clara. I like butterflies and cats, and I'm 23, and I'm really curious.
I cannot believe. Okay, so the first time I recorded this, it was with a friend of mine. Who is like you, a very intelligent individual, very creative and intelligent individual. I called it the Rebellion Podcast. That was more than a year ago. Crazy. And I want to apologize to the literal 2 or 3 people who are going to listen to this. Actually, I'm lying. 0 people are going to listen to this. I apologize for the crappy audio quality. It's my fault, not Clara's fault. It's 100% my fault. Mine's worse than Clara's. Okay, we have 5 topics. The first of which is something Clara's going to talk about more than me, because Clara knows more about it than I do. The first topic, I want people to know what to expect. Number 1 we have is, I wrote it down this way. Please hate me, everybody. Everyone's gonna hate me. The 2 people are gonna hate me. It says drama with Markiplier. Now, I don't know anything about Markiplier. I know his name because when I go on Discord, I hear his name. That's about it. Topic number 2 is going to be self-victimization. Topic number 3 is going to be the Disney Channel. Topic number 4 is going to be insecurities. And topic number 5, and the final topic for today's 1 hour and 10-ish minutes, is cutting people off when needed or as needed. But Clara, drama with Markiplier. What's going on? What's going on?
To my limited knowledge of the topic, the drama is the following. Markiplier has been leaning more and more towards the use of generative AI. Like, people have been saying that he's been using AI for months now to create his thumbnails. But I don't really know. And then there's also the fact that he allegedly said something about using ChatGPT. He admitted to using ChatGPT to research basic stuff about his videos, but he didn't really say, oh, I just use, I don't have a script writer, I just use ChatGPT. He never said that.
So the issue is his following people, the humans who, pay attention to what he does. They're not happy that he uses that? Is it not legal? I'm sorry, is it disappointing? Is he known for doing everything on his own or something like that?
Well, he's been very wholesome from the get-go, and I guess people who are really wholesome can't use AI. I don't know.
This is me literally trying to attempt to mentally construct the correlation between an individual being perceived as wholesome and not being permitted to use AI. And honestly, when you say I'm going to be honest, when you say generative AI, I don't even know what that is. Like, I know what AI is. I'm like, what makes it generative? It generates stuff, eh? Correct me if I'm wrong, Clara. Oops.
Well, generative AI is the stuff that Google uses, like ChatGPT and other LLMs. And what Google uses to give you that overview of stuff when you Google something. Like, here's an AI overview of the results. Gosh, that's so annoying.
Yeah, the two people who are gonna listen to this are gonna actually find me just to murder me. I don't see the problem. He didn't commit a crime to the best of my knowledge. Again, I don't know anything really about this guy. I might have seen his face on Discord because people put his face on Discord all the time. Yeah. So the issue here is he's got a following. People pay attention to what he does. He did. So you're saying he didn't admit to using it, right?
No, he didn't say I use ChatGPT to. He did say that he uses ChatGPT, but not exactly in what ways he's using it.
I am completely stumped. Well, no, I don't think stumped is the right word. I want to say Clara may or may not remember this about me, and some people who subscribe to my channel because I used to post a lot of crazy stuff. People will know that I'm extremely cynical most of the time, anyway. Stumped is not the right word. It's more like people, in my opinion, people just want something to say. Oh, let's take something they said and give it a context that was never actually there. Again, hey, I'm not employed by any government as a judge or a prosecutor, but as far as I can tell, Clara is telling me that this person said, I use AI, and people were like, oh, he uses it for his thumbnails and his content. I'm not gonna delve into that. So that's the thing that people talk about right now. That's so. You know what? That's relatively wholesome. You know, like seriously, Clara. I'm thinking about my favorite like freaking Disney stars, like who. Literally, they took nude photos of themselves. Like I want to say back in 2007 or 6, and like they got leaked all over the internet. Yeah, this is
wasn't Bella Thorne, right?
We can talk about that once we get to the third topic. To the best of my knowledge, she is kind of one of them. I say kind of because her case was a little bit different as far as I know. We will get to that in I believe it's the third topic. I don't even have my notes. I'm so sorry to the two people listening to this. I am such a great podcast host. I always have been. That's why I have like 11 podcasts with random people. And I think the most viewed one has like, we're not even going to talk about how many views that has. Oh, Markiplier sounds like I've never met him. I'm gonna confess, I think I only saw one video from Markiplier when I was much younger because someone showed it to me, but I think I'm just gonna say on the record right now, I want to think he's a really nice, sweet guy, and if he uses AI and it's not illegal, then I have nothing bad to say about him. I can't believe it's only been 9 minutes and 23 seconds into the podcast. I feel like I've been talking to Clara while being recorded by myself. It feels like it's been like a long time, but I guess that's how it is when you talk to Clara, because she just sounds so smart that everything she says is like 1,000 words, even though it's 5 words. Okay, we're gonna move on quite quickly to the next topic. So again, everybody, drama with Mulk. I speak words, I swear. I can speak words.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the words are not wording.
Oh my gosh. I hate it when that happens. I hate it when like I'm at KFC and I can't say the word chicken, and they're like, "I'm sorry, sir. What were you ordering? This is not a Wendy's," or some shit like that. That's the meme, right? I don't know. I'm trying to pretend like I'm relatable and trying to pretend like I spend my life on the internet. I did spend my life on the internet in 2021 because of the COVID lockdown. Apart from that, I avoid the internet, which is so ironic. So ironic, because when I was 18, I would do anything to live on the internet. Okay, drama with Markiplier. Self-victimization, the Disney Channel, insecurities, and cutting people off when needed or as needed. Self-victimization is topic number 2.
Yay!
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah.
That's a doozy of a topic. That's a doozy.
Who wants to go first? Who wants to go first? Oh my goodness. Yeah. Please go ahead.
Like self-victimization in what sense? Because like it's a pretty big thing that some people will be victims because they can't be something interesting. You know, I'm not naming names. I'm just saying. They will try to make themselves out to be the victim, but at the same time they won't be. But at the same time they won't do anything interesting. Kind of like Colleen Ballinger with the Toxic Gossip Train song.
I'm not gonna comment. I like what I'm not gonna say anything at this time. And to be fair to the 2 people who are gonna listen to this, number 1, to the 2 people listening to this, number 1, I love you, and number 2, I don't know much about. Again, I try to avoid the internet as much as I can. I don't know much about these people Clara is talking about. Not as much as she knows about them, but. Wow. When I talk to people in real life, or even half of my YouTube videos, all of my YouTube videos are complete trash. Everyone knows that. I don't know how some of them got thousands of views. How I have the subscribers that I have. I guess some people appreciate me being. Yeah, I'm gonna stop talking about that. Going back to self-victimization, I like to be super cheerful and super energetic. I don't do it on purpose. That's just the way I sound when I talk. But self-victimization, sorry for my language. This is why I brought up me being cheerful all the time. It pisses me off. Sorry, it pisses me off. I can't even say that word. When I see it in other people, let me explain what I mean by that. Pretty soon, I'm going to be on an airplane flying out of the country where I'm currently situated, right? For me to speak on self-victimization is, I feel like I see it a lot where I live, so much, and I don't know what countries I don't look at my stats. I don't know what countries the people who look at my videos are from. But if you're from a relatively poor country, or at least the one that I'm in, I talked about it in the last episode more than a year ago. I'm not going to say which one right now, but when I see people who complain about, I'll give you examples, okay? I'll give you examples. When I see people who, they complain about their kids, they complain about their mom, their husband, their wife, their whoever it is, or they complain about their body image, their weight, or their mental health, I will be okay with it to a certain extent. But the moment I see that, and I say this a lot, like, if you're complaining to me about like your body issues, are you working on it, or if not your body, are you working on your mind, or if you're complaining to me about your mental issues, which to be clear, I am diagnosed with PTSD. I'm actually diagnosed with it, so I can't say I'm better. Are you at least working on something else in your life? I feel like 80% of the time, thank God not all the time, I feel like 80% of the time I'm constantly surrounded by individuals who all they want to do is make excuses. And I know that depending on where you're from, these words are not necessarily going to make sense. But if you're from a place similar to where I'm from, where there are opportunities, maybe not a lot, but there are opportunities to improve your life, and people are just not taking them. People are just like, "Ugh, it's the government's fault. It's my mom's fault. My dad's fault."
That's totally fair to be saying about a lot of more developed countries where there's a lot of like places to work, and people won't take the lower end jobs because they're like, I don't want a lower end job. I want to be a CEO. Well, if you want to be a CEO, you should try to start your own company or something. I don't know.
I completely get that, and it's so weird.
You can't be CEO of say Microsoft if you just dream about being the CEO of Microsoft. You gotta work for it.
Literally, that is everything. What you said is everything. You cannot be the CEO of Microsoft if you just dream about being the CEO of Microsoft. People need to hear that. People really need to hear that. Low key and high key. People seriously need to hear that more often. Yeah,
Call me generic, but this is the kind of stuff I hear from my parents all the time. And it's done me a whole world of good.
Thank you. Oh my god.
It teaches me to be realistic because I'm not naming names, but a lot of people in the West
yes correct
are taught that you can be anything you want. You can even be a coat hanger or a washing machine.
And a helicopter. Let's not forget a helicopter. That's relevant.
Like, you can be a washing machine and no one will bat an eye. And then when they grow up with the mindset that I can do anything,
right,
and there will be no consequences for it, or no work that I'll have to be put in.
Yes, correct.
That I'll have to put into it. When they grow up, they realize, okay, maybe my degree in tobacco studies isn't gonna earn me money. Now what?
Oh no. Oh dear. She just said that. Clara just said that. I'm you can tell from my voice, I'm becoming petty, and I acknowledge that, and I apologize to a certain extent. At the same time, what Clara says is absolutely correct. There are people like that. Unfortunately, there are people like that.
I don't know, the more developed a nation becomes, sometimes the more likely it is that the people within are gonna be out of touch.
Yes. No. Oh my goodness. Don't get me. I know this is recorded, and I know that I'm gonna upload this without any editing. I know that I never edit these, so I have to be so careful how I word these, because like I said, I don't edit them. There are certain places where I can only admire some of the people. Like, I have like 1 million blogs that nobody looks at, and I write and I write and I write and I post and I post and I post. But one of the things I post about is like, I have such a short list of people from certain places that I can genuinely admire, because it's exactly what Clara said, 100%. And what's crazy, in my opinion, Clara and me agree on a lot of things, even though like we never talked about them. Like we'll talk about them randomly, and then learn that we see it that way. Because let's be real, not everyone sees it for what it is. Going back to the topic, though, yeah, some people, wherever they may be from, they don't understand, they have no comprehension that there's such a small fraction of the entire human population, such a tiny fraction, and yet they behave as though the entire world revolves around them. And again, just like Clara said, I'm also not naming names right now. I'm also not saying which place or places, but some people are completely like that. It's like, whoa, you consume a lot of what, maybe it's food, maybe it's product, maybe it's services and subscriptions, and still complain about a lot of things, which is okay. Everyone has good days and bad days. You should complain once in a while. I say that at least to get it out of your system. But a lot of people on the planet, and people hate me for saying this, they're sick of me saying this because I talk about this all the time. A lot of people on the planet are genuinely suffering. Genuinely. And fine, it's okay. You're not obligated by your law to do anything to help them. That's cool. But please stop pretending you're the center of everything. It's sickening. It's disgusting.
Like we have this what's it called, group of people, a crowd of people, if you will, in Romania called Dacopaths, and they literally rewrite Romanian history to be all about the Dacians, as if they're the true ancestors of all humanity. Trademark symbol. And as if the Dacians' trademark symbol had time travel. Not gonna lie, some of them believe that. It goes from tame stuff like 75% of Romanian vocabulary comes from Dacian, which it doesn't, to very unhinged stuff like the Dacians had time travel and quantum computers.
I've never heard of this in my life.
They're ridiculous and really fun to poke fun at. Like, not gonna lie, there was this kind of science fantasy author in Romania in like the 90s that wrote a bunch of stuff about the Dacians having all sorts of underground tunnel systems and stuff. And the people, some people actually believed it was real, and it wasn't just science fantasy.
Okay. So what you're telling me right now, and by the way, if any of the two people listening to this audio on YouTube are from Romania, if you know, let me just say this, I love you so much. I love you so much. If you're from Romania, I may or may not know a lot about this, but I do love you so much. But going back to what Clara said, so this is like how did this happen? Like, so somebody, I imagine a group of people started this as a conspiracy, and then it became a movement, and people started believing it. Was it like that? Is that how it happened?
Well, basically, the roots of it lie within the historic movements of back when we were trying to figure out where we were coming from. There were a small number of people who were like, what if the Dacians did everything? And this whole idea was kind of perpetuated through generations until this day, basically because a few people were like, yo, Yo, what if the Dacians actually did everything and the Romans didn't do anything?
Oh my gosh, that's okay. That does something to my mind for a few different reasons, and I'll get into that. We're not gonna hang on to this topic for too long because, like I said, it's gonna be an hour and 10 minutes, maybe a bit longer. Wait, I do. However, I've never heard of this. The Dacians. I've never. How do you spell that? Gemini.
Dacians. Dacians.
DACI? Sorry, DACIA. Me pretending I'm educated and using a computer. Dacians. Okay. What are.
So basically, the Dacians, they are the guys who were here before the Romans took over.
Oh my goodness! No, I'm reading it right now. Yeah, despite the Roman conquest, the Dacians left I don't know how to pronounce that. Dacians, I don't know. Left a lasting legacy, particularly in the cultural and historical identity of modern Romania. Genetic research suggests that their heritage continues to flow in the veins of many contemporary Europeans like Clara. Hey, you're a Dacian girl. Let's get him.
Let's go.
I don't even know. This is so honestly to me personally. This is cool because again, I have never encountered this stuff in my life. I'm from a place where a lot of the knowledge can I even call it knowledge? Like a lot of the information available to the people is. You can say this about a lot of places, but it's extremely filtered, and the types of knowledge, the types of media, the types of content and advertising and films and television shows, they're so
I don't say blah blah blah.
Exactly. There, Clara said it better than I could have possibly said it. Yeah, assuming me and Clara talk a lot more, like once I've physically gone on an airplane and physically walked out of the airplane in another continent, I will be low key kind of invested in this. And another thing, by the way, before we move on to the next topic, Clara's gonna murder me, and if the two people watching and listening are Romanian, you're gonna kill me too. I just realized now from reading this thing about the Dacians and the Roman conquest thing. I just realized, oh wow, the name Romania wasn't random. I'm sorry. That's like the dumbest thing I've ever said in my life. Because low-key, when I was a child and I would hear Italy, Rome, and Romania as a young child, I was like, they're like the same, right? They're like all in the same place, right?
Yeah.
I know that's embarrassing, and if you are
that's the most true Dacian thing you could think.
I know it is, and it's embarrassing, and I had to I think I was like 14 or 15 when it finally sunk in. Like I finally got exposed to, I think it was a television show, or maybe it was like, I don't know what it was. I don't remember. It was probably the Olympics or something on television. Because I have a huge thing for the Olympics. I'm a massive junkie for the Olympics, but yeah. Ugh, damn, it's my fault. I'm such an irresponsible podcast recorder. Shit. Oh. Ugh. Sorry. Okay. So, wait, I can't let it go. I cannot let it go. Everyone hates me. That's okay. Because I can't podcast normally. Hold up. So why is it called Romania? Because duh. Oh my gosh, it's right here in front of me. Okay, despite the Roman conquest. Okay, so there is a correlation with Rome. It's not the same place, but there is a correlation. There's something there is related with the other thing. I can't believe this. This is what I get.
It's really obvious for me, but
I know, bruh. Like, sorry. I hate this. I just realized it. Wait, you know what? Holy shoot! Like, I'm so professional. What? was the Roman conquest. Can't spell words. Okay, Roman interest. The Romans were attracted to Dacia for several reasons: strategic importance, resources, and prestige. Okay, sorry. Forgive me to the two people watching this. I love you so much. If you're Romanian, I love you like multiplied by 262.4. I love you that much. I just don't know shit about anything. Low key, I used to speak Russian on my podcast. Hate me. Everyone told me not to go to Russia. The Disney Channel is the third topic. Clara, tell me what you know about the Disney Channel.
Damn. Haven't heard that name in centuries. Like, the Disney Channel, that was a big thing back in the day. They had, like, animated shows and actual shows, and it was wild.
Okay, how do I say this? First of all, Clara is right. In my opinion, Clara is 100% right. It was a big thing. If you are one of my subscribers, you probably know that my childhood was extremely messed up, thanks to the videos that I may or may not have deleted. Haha, I'm sorry. This is my formal apology. Haha, let's move on. Yes, the Disney Channel was like one of the good parts of my childhood. I was like, whoa, look at these kids on the television. Like, they're smart, they know how to deal with life, they have good days and they have bad days, but you know, they get through it with such grace, and I want to be like that. And to be fair, and this is just my opinion, to be fair, I am grateful for most of what the Disney Channel presented when I was younger. Let me explain why I'm grateful for that, because I genuinely believe that without it, I would have had few good examples. I was surrounded by a lot of bad stuff as a child. Unfortunately, we just talked about self-victimization, right? Like, I don't like that being my whole persona. I know it's funny because I have original songs on my YouTube channel, a lot of original songs, and a lot of them are angry, and I'll be honest, okay? It's kind of victim stuff because it's so full of anger. But when it comes to real life and talking to people, e.g. Discord, e.g. Clara, and people who are European, because I think European people are cool. Please hate me if you don't like European people. I just don't like victimization being your actual personality. Like, when I get creative, sure, I'll put it in there. But going back to the Disney Channel, and how I'm grateful that it was a part of my childhood was, yeah, I was surrounded by so much messed up stuff. So for those of you who don't know, some of you probably do, as a child, I grew up in an extremely messed up, I was essentially trapped with 5 narcissistic adults.
Dang, how'd you survive?
That's a good question, Clara, and thank you for the question. I appreciate it. This is always my answer. I don't think I did. I have a thing that I tell people when they ask me about my actual past and my actual childhood. I have a thing where I say, I genuinely believe that I died when I was 15. There was just a weird thing that happened where I got replaced by a different version of myself, because I do genuinely believe that I died when I was 15. Yeah. Essentially, it's funny how we went from, it's cool, we're only at the 36-minute mark, by the way. I don't mind talking about it. I now that I'm an adult, now that I'm older, I actually love knowing that I can talk about it, and I still feel safe, because for unfortunately most of my life, I couldn't talk about anything. Okay, Disney Channel. It's so hard to go back to the Disney Channel after remembering yeah, it's not cool. But that's what it is. Anyway, I still love Hilary Duff. Earlier I said there are certain places where like a relatively short list of people. People might come at me for this, but yeah, Hilary Duff played characters on the Disney Channel. And let me say this, and I'm proud to say this even if people attack me with pitchforks. She didn't lose her mind in the same way that other actors and actresses and otherwise non-binary performing stars did. She didn't start doing all of these illegal. For me, it's not even just the illegal part of it, it's the parts of it that are completely egotistic.
It's the part that messes you up in the head.
Yes, 100%. I'm not gonna name names, but you've got people crashing cars. You've got people doing, and I'm not saying they're evil. I'm just saying that this is what happened. You've got people doing methamphetamine.
Oh, I thought you were gonna talk about drugs.
Oh, I am about to talk about it a little bit. We're talking about these people. In my opinion, okay? In my humble opinion, these are people who had so much opportunity. You had so much opportunity to be a good influence, genuinely. And I know you can attack me back saying, "Oh my God, you're putting so much pressure on these young developing child actresses. Like you want them to be perfect so bad, but they're not perfect." If anyone comes at me with that, which is probably not going to happen because I don't get that many views. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But it's like, it's not about them being perfect or not. It's about the choices they made. They made choices. They had so much opportunity, and look at the choices they made. I remember Clara, specifically Clara. She once talked to me about a person that she really likes, and I used to watch that person as a child on television, not frequently, but maybe a couple of times a week. Clara talked to me about Jeanette McCurdy and how she grew up with one extremely narcissistic adult. I grew up with five narcissistic adults. I was trapped in a house with them for 18 years. Yeah. So, I consider, so far, to the best of my knowledge, I consider Hilary Duff and maybe Jeanette McCurdy as well to be people who, despite the circumstances and the pressure, I understand there's a lot of pressure, I admire them because they didn't go super bonkers. Remove your clothes everywhere, all the time, literally leak your own naked photos. Again, I'm not naming names, I'm just saying that some people do that. And is it a great example? I don't know. Are they genuinely just being themselves? Maybe, yeah. And if that is their genuine selves, then I am happy for them. Just don't do anything illegal if you can avoid it, and don't do drugs everywhere all the time, because that's unhealthy not only for yourself but the people around you. Not naming names, but people know who those people are. Okay, Clara, I'm sorry. We're gonna go back to Clara. Did you not watch the Disney Channel when you were younger?
Yeah, but we got a limited amount of shows and a limited amount of stuff. Like, of course, we got like Zack and Cody.
Oh no! Yeah, yeah.
We got Zack and Cody. We got Zeke and Luther. I think we got Good Luck Charlie.
Oh yes.
A lot of the later stuff.
That is so cute. I remember Good Luck Charlie. Yeah.
But not That's So Raven. I never watched any of That's So Raven because that's a very cultural show, I believe.
Correct, yes.
That contains a lot of references that you're not really easily weaseling in.
Absolutely. 100% Clara. No, I swear, when I was younger, essentially, and I'm just being perfectly honest, my only exposure to quote unquote black culture, African American culture, my only exposure to that was That's a Raven, and I didn't even know that's what it was. I was just thinking, oh, they use words kind of different from the other shows. Like, they don't talk like that on Even Stevens or on Lizzie McGuire. and I never associated it with their skin color or their ethnic group. I never thought that. Eventually, as I got older, I kind of dabbled into the Boondocks. I don't know if you've heard of the Boondocks. Have you heard of them?
I've heard of it vaguely.
Yeah, it's
Isn't it like an anime?
it's beautiful visually because it does look so much like an anime. Absolutely beautiful visually, and I would say it's a satire. It's essentially, in my opinion, a bunch of African American people putting themselves in very bad situations when they could be making a smarter choice. So I would, in my opinion, classify it as a satire. Yeah. Well, you know what? I don't want to bore Clara. We have accomplished 42 minutes and 47 seconds, approximately 42, 47, something like that. Okay. For the Disney Channel, though, I want to acknowledge something that Clara said earlier. I want to acknowledge this because I promised Clara that I would. I said I would acknowledge Bella Thorne. Bella Thorne did it intentionally. I want to say that's what sets her kind of apart. Is it in a good way, a bad way? I'm not going to say, but she did it on purpose. There are other performers from the Disney Channel. For example, there is an individual who acted in High School Musical, which is one of their most profitable creations ever. And let me just say that individual, until now, and it's 2025, I still listen to her music because as a person, I'm not saying I know everything about that person, but what I do know about that person, I love that person. It's like when I talk about Taylor Swift. Like, do I agree with everything she's ever done? No. Do I love her? Yeah, I do. And, people can disagree with that. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. Some people love people who are now incarcerated. I'm not going to change your mind. That's cool. But yeah, Bella Thorne did it intentionally, and I'm not going to say certain words. Yeah. Topic number 4. We have 2 topics left. And the way I wrote down the 5th one is so not grammatical. That's why every time I read it is so bad. But anyway, topic 4 is insecurities. I don't mind talking about this. Topic 5 is cutting people off when needed and or as needed. The way I wrote that down is a bit weird. I kind of corrected it just literally within the last 15 seconds. I'm going to let Clara start. What do you think about when you hear this word? What do you like to talk about when you have to talk about this word, this thing?
I don't know.
I totally get what you're trying to say. I completely get what you're trying to say. For the very small audience, I have spoken to Clara multiple times over the course of the last, I want to say, several months, on and off, because again, I avoid the internet hard when I can. I went from being addicted to the internet to avoiding it so much. Anyway, yeah, we don't have to stay on this topic too long, but I did write it down. Drama with Markiplier, self-victimization, the Disney Channel, insecurities. I will talk about this. I will. Even if it sucks. One of my... shit. Okay, one of my biggest insecurities that actually bothered me, genuinely it bothered me, because, no matter who you are, some people are going to like you, and some people are going to do the opposite of like you. Some people are going to support you, and some people are going to do the opposite of supporting you, no matter who you are. So the ones who try to tear me down, most of the time, back then, in the past, most of the shit they say could not affect me, because it wasn't even true. And when it's not true, it typically doesn't bother you. So, for example, I'll give a concrete example, and I give this example all the time, and it may or may not be the nicest thing to say, especially on the internet. So, if you have a hate comment, I don't know, I might disable comments. I'm kidding. No. If you have a hate comment, email it to me, because most of my videos, most of them do have disabled comments. Yeah, I barely touch my YouTube channel. Sorry, I ramble. Everyone knows that about me. If you don't know that about me, watch my other videos. Okay. Going back to insecurities, something that bothered me so much in the past. Okay? My teeth were messed up. They were, in my opinion, okay? In my opinion, they were messed up. Like, colleagues, workmates, supervisors, people I worked with, or some of my friends, whether in real life or on Discord, like, when I would show them my smile, they would be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Your teeth are totally fine. And I don't know if that's just the psychological result of when you like someone, you naturally don't gravitate to their flaws. But I remember this one, I think it was 2023. There was a guy. Unfortunately, he worked in the same company I was working at. Depending on the vibe of the people, because I'm very selective with people. That's not a secret. People have said bad things about me because I am selective. There are some people I just won't talk to them. I'm not saying they're bad people, I just won't talk to them. Anyway, so I was in an elevator at the workplace. It was kind of a tall building, right? I don't remember if it was going up or down. I just remember it was a guy. He was there with a bunch of his like guy friends, so they were all dudes. They were like on one side of the elevator and I was on the other. I wasn't looking at anyone. And he essentially just said that my teeth were horrible, which, hey, I want to be fair. He was right at the time. I've had them fixed now, but at the time he was right. Honestly, it took everything in my, like, it took every fiber of my being and all the strength I had to, like, literally not either murder him, B, set him on physical fire. I'm a very friendly arsonist. With a smile on my face. Set him on fire. B, set him on fire, or like C, just cry. Because during that time, it did affect me because like some of my teeth, they had like horrible, man, like teeth in the wrong place, teeth with holes in them, teeth that are just not the right color. I had to save a lot of money. Everyone knows that I've been saving money to finally get a college degree, because that was something I could never get when I was younger. So I have to give it to myself. I have to work, save money, and give it to myself. And I'm choosing where to do it, which is I choose not to do it where I am situated right now. Right? But yeah, yeah. You know, a lot of people would say negative things about me, but it couldn't affect me because it wasn't true. Like, you know, you could say, oh, he's obese. He's like 900,000 pounds. Like, he eats too much food or whatever. Now I give this as an example because of a tangible reason. And the tangible reason is, if you say that about me, it won't affect me because it's technically very far from true. Genetically speaking, I am a freaking pencil. I have tried to gain weight. It just doesn't happen. So if somebody says that, since it's not accurate factually, it doesn't get to me. But the teeth thing, going back to the teeth thing, he was right. My teeth were pretty bad. He was the only one to point it out like that in, I want to say 8 years or something. But yeah, they're fixed now because I had them fixed. So whoever you are, if you're listening to this audio, Clara and I say hi, we love you, and if you're insecure about something, if you can have it fixed, if you can, do what it takes, do what is in your power to have it fixed. Not if you want to, and it will make you happier. To be clear, everybody, I did not have my teeth fixed because of what he said. I was already saving money to have them fixed, and for him to say that reminded me that at that time, knowing my priorities, I still didn't have enough money. Again, I have a lot of goals, and I allocate my money very specifically. Okay, damn, that was not, yeah. Shit. Yeah. Another insecurity that I've I want to say I've overcome it is when I was a young child. People would constantly, as a young child, people would constantly tell me that I was malnourished. Hey, you know why it didn't bother me, and it still doesn't bother me as an adult now? Because they were right. Again, I grew up with 5 narcissistic adults who would make me do they would put me in horrible situations, and if I didn't agree with the things they were making me do or the situations they were putting me in, they wouldn't let me eat. That was one of my forms of punishment. I had so many forms of actual abuse. I hate that word because, again, I hate self-victimization, but that's just the truth. That is what happened. And that's not even the worst thing they did. Okay, cutting people off when needed or as needed. Clara, what do you have anything to say about this? I know, because you talked about it. You've had quite the relationships. That's what I remember.
I've had a really bad relationship that I had to cut the guy off. I just couldn't, because he would send me the most unhinged emails about God knows what every time. Like, every time I'd think that I have a moment to myself, I'd look in my spam, and there it was, an unhinged email from my crazy ex telling me stuff about how the government's trying to control him by giving him poison, and about how mental illness is fake.
How? Okay, so he sends you an email saying simultaneously that the government is trying to control something about him. Well, which I want to be fair. That may or may not be true. I don't know. That may or may not be true. But also that mental illness is fake. Yeah. What else did this guy do?
I don't know. He doesn't have the most cohesive worldview now that I think of it. Like, simultaneously, I'm supposed to be the one that he's meant to save, and he's supposed to not to have to come here to Romania, which I've told him multiple times he has to. Otherwise, my parents won't let him to take me to Canada.
Am I still low-key? Am I still audible? Because that story did something to me that I physically shifted my arm and I hit my headset. Can you still hear me, Clara?
No, you're audible. You're fine.
Oh, what is that? Sorry, forgive me, everybody, especially Clara. Okay, you can still hear me. That's I'm not gonna lie, I've met a number of people with not the exact same situation. But 2 things I want to point out about that story that Clara just shared with me. First thing I want to point out is, I'm guessing, I could be wrong, but I'm guessing that this individual is under the influence of some kind of substance. That's my guess, because I've been in what I call them recovery servers. That's what I call them, which is where whether it's a drug addiction or a gambling addiction or anything, I don't want to say certain words, right? Or you're a victim of something, like recovery servers where everyone's just trying to recover. I've met a lot of people who are genuinely like that. I've also gotten, okay, I didn't think I would talk about this, but I'm about to talk about it. I never thought I would. Shit. Can I do this? Yeah, I think I can. I don't have to open it. Yeah. Okay, I don't have to open it. So I have a lot of email inboxes, a lot of them. There was a guy, I'm not going to say where he was from. So in the case of Clara, the guy's from Canada. I'm not going to say where mom is from, but it's close to Canada. Yeah, this individual, yeah, low key and high key, me and him had some form of a relationship. I'm not gonna say much, but same thing as with Clara. He started emailing me all of these extremely crazy things, and I want to pretend it didn't bother me, but it did. It bothered me so bad. There was this is just one of them, by the way. This is just one of them. He genuinely convinced me of a lot of things, and one of the things was, because I didn't agree, he wanted me to marry him. Listen, where I'm from right now, where I'm situated right now, number one, you can't marry a dude if you're a dude. Number two, at that time, did I want to get married to anybody, male or female? No, I did not want to get married to anyone at that time. Did I like him? I think I did. Yeah, I think I did. But going back to what I was saying, he genuinely convinced me that if I wouldn't fly over to where he was and have a certain, like, it was insane, a certain ritual where I would, like, meet specific members of his family, and I don't remember if it was like a statue or like a tombstone or like a grave, like I think I had to kiss it or something like that. And if I did not agree to all of that, and if I did not agree to all of that, and he would keep in contact with me, there would be a threat to my life, because apparently people were after him, and they would be after anybody who was.
That's some schizophrenia level shit.
Homie, here's the fucked up part. Maybe because I liked him, or maybe because he was stable in the beginning. I give him credit for that. He was very stable and mature and emotionally intelligent in the beginning. I don't know what happened. It still bothers me because it is sad. It is sad, but you are correct, Clara. It's schizophrenia level shit, but I believed it because stupid text message. Why is my do not disturb not on? Let me turn it on. 1 second. There you go. Sorry about that, everybody. Yeah, I believed it, and I was really scared. So I was starting, literally, what I did, I was starting to ask him questions like, okay, because I believed that there was a legitimate threat, because he would even give examples. He would even give examples of, like, things that happened to certain people he, had some kind of a relationship with in the past. And I started to ask him questions such as, okay, all right, if you want me to, if you really want me to, just let me know your city, maybe your address. I'll figure out the flight. I don't know how it's gonna happen exactly, because visa procedure, right? And all of that stuff. And I even said to him, just to even be clear, I can put like half of my belongings in a box and have it sent there. Just so you know, I'm actually we're gonna make it happen, okay? Like, I felt weird because, yes, sure, I did like the guy. Am I a fan of where I'm currently situated and where I was in 2023? No, everybody knows that. I'm very open about it, which is why an interesting fraction of the people here can't stand me, because I'm very open about, we got an overpopulation problem, low key. I've tried to start movements, nothing happens. Stop cutting down the trees so much. There are floods because you throw your garbage in literal, like, holes where water is supposed to distribute itself, so the floods are lessened. Sorry, I know not everyone in the world is going to relate to what I just said and shit of that nature. Sorry. I got in trouble for organizing protests. Nothing happened. I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm giving up on all of you. Do I love some of you? Yes, I love some of you, but I have to leave all of you. It's just not working. It's horrible. Sorry. Let's go back to what we were talking about. Thank God I keep notes. Thank God I keep notes. I say that like I remember what we were talking about. The dude who sent me crazy emails. Yeah, it was like I had to kiss something. Again, statue, tombstone, like grave. It was like, apparently it was like, we'll call it a statue. We'll call it a statue. Apparently it was a statue like dedicated to like honor his dad or the dad of his dad, and apparently apparently the dad of his dad was like canonized, and I was like, canonized, like became a saint? And he was like, not necessarily a saint, just like in a church nearby where I live. Like people, you know, when you come here, when you live with me and everything, which is what I want you to do, like people have to see that you kissed that statue. Otherwise, there's going to be threats to your life while you're with me. And it just got weirder and weirder until I stopped replying. And when I stopped replying, by the way, he sent me the longest it's still the longest. It's still the longest single email that I've ever received. When I stopped replying, he sent me this extremely long email telling me that this is where it gets messed up. He sent me a long email saying that during our whole relationship, I was abusing him, making fun of his age, which is insane. Like, I say insane because it's like, why would I make fun of a person's age? Why would I do that? And this is...
Maybe you said, okay, Grandpa, one too many times.
Oh my God, Clara, I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna throw like a really, 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 really like poisonous cupcake at you. No, ew! Sorry about the way I said that. Yeah, maybe I did. You know what? Maybe Claire's right. Maybe I did. I'm pretty sure I didn't. But yeah, like he was saying that through the whole relationship, I was abusing him. I was making fun of his age. Where? How? Honestly. And he said that I was making fun of his weight. Now, I want to share something very transparent and just very, very completely honest, even though some people might hate me or disagree with me. I'm just going to share this. During that time when I was in a quote unquote thing, whatever, I was in some kind of a thing with this dude, right? During that time, I had no idea what fat phobia was, like, and I had no form of revulsion. I wasn't repulsed by people with different body types. I was like, they're people. Okay, and most people are stupid, and I still don't care for most people. But after he said that, I'm just gonna be perfectly honest, okay? After he said that, something changed. Something really changed. Like, because in this email, he called me every name under the sun, every insulting name and like slur and just everything. He even said like I don't remember his exact words. I think it was something like, the way you treated me is like all of the traits of a covert narcissist. And that affected me because I grew up with 5 adult narcissists. And I'm the complete opposite of all 5 of them. Anyway, so yeah, ever since then something changed, and I'll be honest, objectively speaking, his body type, at least at that time, I don't know what he looks like now, he was bigger than most people. He was thicker than most people, a little bit heavier than most people. But what's interesting was when he would talk about other people he knew, like where he was living, when he would talk about other people, it was negatively. He would say, I know this woman who's 300 pounds. She can't even get up from bed. He would say things like, I just tried to buy a house, but when I went inside to check the house, there were booby traps in the house. And I thought he was joking. But eventually I realized, like, oh, he oh my, I can't describe it. It's hard to describe it. I would even ask him, why did you go look at this house? Where is the house located? And then what do you mean by booby traps? Booby traps. He would say there was like broken glass on the floor or things like that. And I would say, how is the house for sale? And there's broken glass on the floor. And he would tell me things like, some of the people here were just dealt a bad hand in life and they want to inflict their pain on other people, which to be fair, I kind of understand what he means by that. It was just, things didn't make sense. Sorry, going back to the email, that email scared the shit out of me, and I was afraid to leave at the time I was renting in a place. Yeah, you guys get the point. Yeah, okay. We have successfully made it to the 1 hour mark. I'm so extremely happy about that. Holy cow. And I'm so proud of myself for not podcasting for over a year. Yes, I'm proud of that because I feel like podcasts should not be done that frequently. Okay, so we went from insecurities. I talked about my teeth. Clara talked about this individual when we talked about cutting off people when needed or as needed. There's one more thing I want to say. Again, I don't know how many people will listen to this, and who will listen to this. I just want to say that when I do cut people off, sometimes, because I know, I'll give an example. Clara didn't hear from me for months. That's just one example. Do I like Clara? Absolutely. Do I see Clara as an intelligent human being who I actually admire because to me she has empathy, which is like one of the top things I look for in any human, male, female, non-binary. I look for intelligence, number one. I look for kindness and empathy. Those are kind of bonuses. Yes, if I sound like a narcissist, I'm so sorry about that. But yeah, Clara didn't hear from me for months. Did I reach out to her? No. Have I done this to other people? Yes. And I want to acknowledge something that's been in the back of my mind the last couple of days. A number of people have been emailing me or texting me or reaching out through Facebook or Messenger. And these are good people. Let me say that. These are good people. And they are like, we don't hear from you anymore. And I want to be fair. They are absolutely correct. They don't hear from me. Not recently. I feel the need to say this. I know this is not relevant to most people's lives right now. I just feel the need to say this. Assuming that you're one of those people, this is gonna get 2 views. And assuming you're one of those 2 people, it's not personal. It's not even about cutting people off. Literally, it's not about that. Depending on what happened. I mean, if you did something really bad, then yes, it is about cutting you off. If you did something really bad. 5 narcissistic adults. But if, you were... Most of you are good people, and I just avoid the entire internet, and I avoid most people. And I am working on my going away to university. Literally, this university. Let me chat GPT it. Wait, give me Gemini. This is the last thing I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to ask Clara some bonus questions, rapid fire bonus questions, before we end the podcast. But I'm going to ask Gemini. Wait. What is? I'm not going to say it out loud. What is the distance? You still with me, Clara? You still good?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Let me just say on the record, literally on the record, you are super cool. It's not every day I meet people like you. And do I wish everyone was as smart as you? Yes, but that's not the reality. I sounded so harsh and narcissistic. Please hate me. What is the distance in between and I cannot spell words. I'm typing with one hand because I'm holding the laptop with the other. Okay, let's see what it has for us. So this is okay. Holy cow. Okay, so That's so cool. It's 6,000 miles away, and I like that. So yeah, just going back, if either of the two people listening to this are people who never did anything abusive, you are a great person. Absolutely. I'm just avoiding a lot of things and the internet, and I am very literally gonna make a 6,000 mile relocation in the very near future. Rapid fire questions for Clara, and I'm gonna answer them too. Clara, right now, who are your top 3 favorite musicians right now?
Well, honestly, Phil Collins. Then there's who else? David Bowie and Peter Gabriel.
Phil Collins, David Bowie, and who was the third one?
Peter Gabriel.
Peter Gabriel. All right. Some of you saw this coming. Right now, my number 1 is Lights, Canadian musician. Number 2, I'm gonna give this to. It's so hard. I can't. You know what? Let's look at my phone. Okay, Rise Against is number 2. I don't listen to too many American artists most of the time, but 2 and 3 are Rise Against, and number 3 is gonna be this goes back to the Disney thing. Mine is Vanessa Hudgens. Okay, name 3 movies that immediately come to mind when people say to you, "What's a movie you really liked?"
Oh, Ratatouille. And
You gotta name 2 more.
I don't know. What's that movie? Gotta name. Oppenheimer.
Oh damn.
And
Okay.
The Irishman.
Okay. All right. I hate this question because it's like, shoot. I really don't like this question. Why am I like this? Okay. My number 1 is gonna be Cadet Kelly. That's a Disney movie. Number 2 is Pixel Perfect. That's also a Disney movie. And number 3 is probably a tie. Oh, that's messed up. I don't want to talk about that. No, that's messed up. No, number 3 is gonna be I can't pick one. I can't pick one for the third. I just can't. It's impossible. Okay, fine. I changed my mind. Number 1 is still Cadet Kelly. Number 2 is it's an extremely messed up movie, but it's not American made. Which again, I'll just be perfectly honest. Okay, that's why I like it. I like it because it's not American made. It's called The Skin I Live In. Someone told me to watch it. I watched it. It's an extremely messed up movie, and it gave me nightmares because I am diagnosed with PTSD. But I admire the way it was written. That's all I'm gonna say. Number 3 will be a tie between Pixel Perfect, which I mentioned earlier, and Colossal. I just want to ramble real quick. Pixel Perfect is about like a human being who's kind of trying to be perfect a little bit, and an actual perfect thing, a freaking hologram. So it's actually perfect because it's not a human, and it wants to be human. So the human wants to be perfect, the perfect thing wants to be imperfect. Colossal is low-key It's about how some drunk Americans murder thousands of people. That's not even a joke. I'm just saying that in the movie there is an alcoholic American person in the movie who does end up killing thousands of people who she has nothing to do with because she makes bad choices. Sorry. Okay. All right. This is going to be the last one. 3 books that you would say have made you what you are right now. 3 books that come to your mind. I think I know one of them. I think I know one of them, but let's see. Let's see if I'm wrong. I think I know one of them.
1984 by George Orwell.
Okay.
And then there's Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. And
is the third one I'm glad my mom died? I don't know. I'm kidding. Well, I don't know if I'm kidding.
No, okay. Definitely not. I like my mom.
No, just because of the narration. You listened to the audiobook, and I know you liked it. Sorry. Go ahead.
I would say that the third one would be I Want to Die But I Want to Eat Tteokbokki by Beck Sahi.
I'm literally gonna Google that. I'm actually writing that down. All right. Okay. Number 1 for me is, hey, get ready to hate me. Number 1 for me is The Overwoods. The Overwoods is my favorite book ever. Why? I freaking wrote that. It's getting a lot of reads lately. Yeah. Anyway, that's number 1 for me, in my opinion. If you have never heard of The Overwoods, please Google it. It's on Royal Road. It's on perfection.io. It's on my blogs. I have a bunch of blogs. Blogspot, Blogger, WordPress. It's on Fiction Press too, and a bunch of other websites. Sorry about that. I had to plug that in quickly. I had to do that. Number 2. Oh, shoot. Damn. Number 2 is... it's called Becoming Bulletproof. It was written by a former Secret Service agent. I listened to the audiobook so much. The third has to be a tie between... The third is a tie between the 5-second rule and the Let Them theory, both of which were written by an incredible human being, very talented human being. I'm not gonna say any names because, yeah, yeah. All right, okay. I'm gonna look for the button. Where's the button?
Literally click the subscribe button because you can, and it's a button that you can click